All right, good evening and welcome to Business. Now, inflation has dropped marginally to 15.4% for the month of December 2016, the lowest in 18 months. The 0.1% decline from the November rate of 15.5%, according to the Statistical Service, was mainly driven by the non-food inflation sector. Deputy Government Statistician Ban Wade, who announced this in Accra, said the reduction of the price of petroleum products last month may have impacted mostly on the non-food components.
The rate of inflation has two main components: the food inflation rate and the non-food inflation rate. The food inflation rate for December 2016 was 9.7% as compared with 9.3% recorded in November 2016. The non-food inflation rate for December 2016 was 18.2% as compared with 18.7% recorded in November 2016. Now, the non-food inflation rate is more than 1.5 times that of the food inflation rate. That is for December 2016. The non-food inflation rate was 18.2% as compared to a food inflation rate of 9.7%. And this indicates that the non-food inflation rate is more than 1.5 times higher than the food inflation rate.
Now, some business executives say they are confident in the economic management team of the new administration to help stabilize the economy. President Akufo-Addo on Tuesday named Ken Ofori-Atta as Finance Minister Designate, Alan Kyerematen for Trade, and Yaw Osafo Maafo as Senior Minister. The captains of industry also expressed reactions to some new appointments made by the President.
Mr. Alan Kyerematen as the incoming Trade and Industry Minister, we know he has occupied that portfolio, that position before, so he's not new to the office. Looking at his background, what he's done before, definitely we think that he's the right person to, at this point in time, to ensure that the private sector, can be brought to that level of being able to take off. Let us understand that we are in situations where business confidence, has sunk so low. We have had challenges in the past 2-3 years. There had been issues where the private sector, has been crying for, that needed support. I said not too long ago that the new government should focus on resuscitating, companies that are virtually collapsing. And I think that if you have a seasoned person like Mr. Kyerematen, definitely it gives a lot of hope to industries.
The fact that the government is going to be supporting business is a step in the right direction, but there are lots of things that needs to be done to make that a reality. When you looked at the last survey done on doing business in Ghana, we recognize that Ghana has actually dropped. And therefore, there are a number of other things other than government statement about Ghana being open for business, which I think is positive, that needs to be done to make sure that Ghana is able to attract direct foreign investment and make doing business in Ghana a lot easier.
The president has been talking about private sector driven thing, and basically once we touch the taxes, I think that will happen.
What should be the approach when it comes to this whole tax issues? Because yes, there are certain modeling or modules that are shown that when there are indeed low tax levels, you get more people paying. There are some modules that have also shown that you might have to have it higher because it's just a few people who are paying. How should this minister be guided in his approach in trying to review some of these taxes? They might be good, but again, you should look at whether it would hurt the revenue.
I think basically that is the issue as to which of the two models to pick. But when you look at across Ghana, you realize that most of us are complaining about the taxes, which means that if you bring it down and bring a lot more people into the net, then your leverage becomes better.
For finance, you know, we have traditionally had economists, we have had accountants, and this is the first time in our history that we are getting an investment banker as a finance manager, as a finance minister. And knowing the kind of difficulties we go through as an economy, particularly in finding money to invest, finding money to put it into economic planning. I mean, if we have an investment manager who knows the intricacies of what I would call financial engineering, it will be an opportunity to make use of his skills to help us find more money to invest in other areas of the economy and actually grow the economy.
Away from that, the General Agricultural Workers Union, GAU, is advocating the removal of Cocoa Board from the Ministry of Finance and rather be placed under the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. There have been some discussions for a possible shift of Cocoa Board to give the cocoa sector adequate attention it desires. But speaking to Joy Business, General Secretary of GAU, Edward Karewe, warns Ghana's cocoa sector will be jeopardized should the Ministry of Finance continues to oversee activities of Cocoa Board. He's also urging the new sector ministry to restructure the Ghana Cocoa Board and to eventually make it an independent body.
It isn't that in the past there has not been a relationship between Minister of Agriculture and that of Cocoa Board. But the experience at the time was that the extension service was not doing well until it was carved out and given to cocoa alone to specialize on cocoa production, and the levels went up, production went up very much. I'm not too keen to for any step to take Cocoa Board and put it under Minister of Agriculture. Minister of Agriculture itself requires some restructuring to give it the new mandate, you know, to be able to play a more frontal and a more strategic role than it is doing now. Now, we have not finished restructuring Minister of Agriculture. Then we take Cocoa Board, which has been carved out and operated on more bureaucratic and well-tested operational systems. You take it and put it on the Minister of Agriculture, you are bound to have a disastrous consequences.
And that's all in business for tonight. Thank you very much for watching and good evening.